Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and this video is intended to show you how to survive against Liu Kang and how to defend against everything he can do here. So Liu Kang has been one of the stronger characters in the game since day one, to be sure, and with the most recent patch, just kind of shuffling around some of the character powers, while Liu Kang being still very strong himself, a lot of people have kind of dropped their character of choice and picked up Liu Kang because, he's very easy and he's very effective. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to deal with a lot of stuff here from, the classic forward 4-3 stuff to, forward 3-3-3 and like all the stance cancel quasi-mix stuff you can do from that, and just all points in between. I'm going to show you what he is able to do and also how you can defend yourself against what he is doing. So we will cover a few things in this video, but let's just start with the showstopper here, and that is forward 4. Because that is certainly the thing I see most complained about online, to say the least, right? Forward 4, forward 4, 3, forward 4, 3, up 3, and all that kind of stuff, and all points in between. So let's just talk about the basic layer of mix here, first and foremost. The options Liu Kang has on the table. So if the forward 4 string completes itself, Liu Kang is +4 on block. So here we are at this distance, +4. I have 4 frames of advantage versus the defender. And if I were to do another one, I'm going to win. Because between the startup and all that kind of stuff here, my forward 4 only takes 9 frames to start up. So no one in the game has to move fast enough to be able to beat me out of doing this, right? So it is effectively Liu Kang's turn again if it gets blocked. And you can hit him out of it, and we'll go more detail as well. But let's show you some of the other options he has here if he thought you were going to try to hit him out of it. Now, if Liu Kang thinks you're going to try to hit him out of it, then he can go forward 4-3 into parry and then give you a big old smack into a big combo. That is one of his options. He can also go into a low fireball, EX, and if you're a male character in the corner, you're going to need a lot of damage as he gets a very big combo off of that. Or, of course, you can just go like, hey, you're so paralyzed and you don't know which option is coming, you're trying to wait and see what's going to happen here, and then I'm just going to chuck it, right? That kind of stuff. That's the basic layers. And there's many layers upon layers upon layers to be sure, but let's just talk about those basic layers first. Now, first and foremost, let's just go back to the base finisher here of just forward 3-4 up 3. So the one that's plus on block, right? So if you know what's happening, you can definitely try to stick a button out and beat it, right? Like right here, oh, it's going to happen. Cool, I'll hit you, right? But there's a larger gap there than a lot of people are aware of. The gap's actually 10 frames. So a lot of people I see, they do their absolute fastest move, which, isn't a bad thing. To be sure, it's not a bad thing. You got your damage in, right? But since it's a 10 frame gap, you can actually stick in a slower move that might do more damage. So just as an example to show you a slower move, right? I'm just going to hit him with the uppercut. And we'll see if it can connect with the 10 frame gap. As you see, there we go. We knocked him out. So anything slower than 10 frames will not work, right? But say your character, you have a 7 frame stand 1, you go into whatever combo, but say your combo would do more damage if you did it from stand 2, and stand 2 is 10 frames or less, then you can actually do your stand 2 and get more damage out of it. Now keep in mind, the window is tighter and tighter and tighter the more frames you go up. So if you do a 10 frame move, like we use the uppercut here, you do run the risk, if you weren't frame perfect, of getting hit by that kick and then getting crushing blow into full combo anyways, right? So do beware of that, but just let it be known, since there is a 10 frame gap, you can do stuff other than your absolute fastest move to get better and more damaging combos to punish it. So that was one layer where he just lets it rock, right? So now what if he catches you trying to hit buttons, trying to steal turns, that kind of stuff, right? So now we get to the parry part. So the parry part, honestly, is less scary than you think it is. Now, if you actually hit him and he gets the parry off, and that will be scary to be sure because he's going to get a lot of damage, but in of itself, he just sits and chills, right? As you see right here. Now, one thing to note here, parry cannot stop any lows. Like, doesn't matter where, if it can be on frame 1, doesn't matter. You cannot stop any low attacks. I'm going to talk more about that later as well. But as you can see here, if you just wait it out, you can just smack them. Okay, here, punish, right? When the move finishes up, there's a part before Liu Kang can hold block, and that's where you just punish him and wait it out. So that is very simple. So all you're doing here, when you block that string, you just keep holding block, you see it, you wait him out, and you get the punish. Now, of course, it runs the risk of, well, hey, if he let it rock, right, and he tried to go for the up 3 and then, get the plus frames and steal his turn and have another turn after this, and you just sit there and block, well, hey, you let it happen, right? But once again, we'll go in more detail on that, but that's another layer, and it's easily defeated by just being patient. So the next layer is him and the EX Fireball. So if he goes for it here, you actually defeat it the same way with the parry. All we have to do is just be patient. Just let him do it. Let him hang himself, right? As you see here, we're holding crouch block, and the second fireball just goes straight over our heads. It's fine. And during that point, we can punish him. As you can see right here, so that's the punish, right? So much the same manner of the parry, we just gotta wait out. Now, I saw right there, I did miss. That was not a punish, right? There we go. So you do have less time to react and punish this than the parry, but it's just simple recognition, basically. Be familiar with the move, be familiar with what it looks like here, and then you can just as easily punish it, just as easily can punish the parry. So two options right there. The parry and the EX Fireball are both defeated by just simply, hey, just hold block and wait him out. Ride the storm out, and then Liu Kang will be served up to you on a silver platter. Now, another layer he has to punish you if you just want to hold and block and wait it out is, hey, you can just go for a throw, right? Huh? I'm holding block. Oh, I get chucked, right? And the way to get rid of that is, you know, hey, just don't hold block, because it is high over your head, or you can punish him with an uppercut, get a crushing blow if it misses, that kind of stuff. But it does bring us to our next section. So right now I have Liu Kang recorded here. So I have him set to random hit and playback because he's going to do two things. Either he's going to do forward 4-3 and throw me, or he's going to do forward 4-3 and do low Dragonfire EX. And I do not know which one he's going to do. So let's see how it plays out. Can I defeat both options at the same time? Oh yeah, I blocked it just fine. That's good. Oh hey, he didn't throw me. Oh hey, he didn't throw me. Oh hey, I blocked it just fine. And what I was doing is nothing difficult. It is not a highly advanced technique I was doing. All I was doing is basically, after I see forward 4-3 connect, I hold block for a split second longer, and then let go. So if he does the low Dragonfire, the time I'm holding block, I'll block it successfully. And in the middle of the block animation, I'll let go, and the high will go over my head anyways. And if he did go for the throw option, because the throw option is just a little bit slower than the low Dragonfire, because it's canceled from the normal versus waiting for the normal to finish and then going for it, then I've already successfully let go of block, and I can punish it either way. So this very easy option select that only takes a minimum amount of practice to work with absolutely crushes those two options he has to work with. So I have Liu Kang set to random playback on three options here. Either he's just going to let the whole string rock, he's going to go for the throw, or he's going to go for the dragon parry. And you do have an option that beats all three of these options. The only option it cannot beat is the option where he goes for the low dragon fireball. But here's the option. Just go for a low down 3. It's literally that simple. If he tries to let it rock, you beat him. If he tries to go for parry, parry can't beat lows. He tries to throw you, hey, throws can't throw crouching people, right? So no matter what you do, you win out. Now, obviously, you're not getting like a giant combo cash out or nothing like that, right? So what you're doing is trading damage for safety and reliability, basically. That is the big thing here. Because once you hit him with down 3, you know, your plus frames, all that kind of stuff, and you can make it your turn, that's all well and good. But yeah, no sick 35% damage combo or crushing blow combo and that kind of stuff. You're shading in the damage and the potential damage you have for just the reliability and general safety of this. Now, once again, it will lose to the low fireball option, and you will get hit if he tries it, right? But it beats every other option on the table, thus turning the table in your favor. And so those are basically the main options, and that's kind of how you deal with a lot of it here. Just a couple more things to go on in the forward 4 stuff before we move on here. First and foremost here, we do have one more layer I want to show you, getting a little more popularity. Just doing your Shaolin cancel into your low. So if you try to smack it with a high or something, usually you're going to lose out because he actually goes to the ground quite quickly. So if you try to stand one him or something, he's just not going to be there to be hit. So the one thing to know here, so just like we mentioned before here, down 3 works just fine against it. Also, the move itself is punishable, right? So he doesn't really move himself far enough away to deal with it. So if you do block that, you can get it punished. So it's not really the best option to work with. That also said, so mid-screen, if Liu Kang actually gets the big kickoff, right? The plus on block kick, right? His actual ability to enforce anything mid-screen other than just another forward 4 is actually mildly low. So yeah, he's +4, and yeah, if you try to hit a button afterwards here, like, you're going to get smacked and lose, right? That's by design, right? That's how it's going to work here. But if he wants to do anything else, it's not going to work so much in his favor. So a couple other options he has after that, if he just want to go to forward 4 again, is he can walk forward and throw you, or he can just take a tiny step forward and do 1-2, which is also plus on block, and then keep going and that kind of stuff, right? But for any of those options besides just going to a raw forward 4 again from mid-screen, it does involve him taking a small step forward. So after you block the big kick and you are mid-screen, if you see him do anything other than the forward 4 kick again, for the most part, you can safely just let go of block, because both of the options he's going to go for, if he's walking forward at all, are going to be highs, right? If he's not going to go for the highs, then he might as well just stood and take his guaranteed next rep at the blender, right? So just as an example here, so I'm just going to hold block here, and if he does anything other than the forward 4, I'm going to let go of block. And from there, of course, I can get like a uppercut crushing blow or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It could be something as simple as a down 1 or whatever, which will lose to a forward 4 if he does it right away, so don't do it right away. But if you see him take a step forward, if he doesn't do forward 4 right away, mid-screen, it is, you can be fairly certain he's going to be trying to walk forward and either do a 1-2 to get more plus frames or go for a throw, right? Because he can't throw you right away from mid-screen after the block. So those are the options that he has, and they're both defeated by just letting go block and just cranking him with an uppercut or whatever you want, because they're both highs, right? And that's very handy to know. Now, of course, if this is a longer set or something, then people could like try to, high level mess with you, then like not attack, walk forward, immediately walk back, punch an uppercut, and all the kind of stuff. As everything has layers, of course, because this is a fighting game. But generally speaking, especially in a 1st to 2 or 1st to 3 set, there is no reason for Liu Kang to walk forward after that string other than he's trying to hit you with 1-2 or try to throw you, which, once again, just let go, block, punish, bingo, bango, bongo. Now, moving on from the forward 4, because forward 4 has a million layers if you really want to get into it, and, we don't got a couple hours for this video, but suffice to say, that's a lot of the popular stuff, and that's how you deal with it. Let's talk Wu-shi Legend. This is the one with the damage buff, and it's a good damage buff, and the teleports. So this one's been getting more popular lately, and I'm going to tell you the very easy way to shut down the raw neutral teleports, where he wants to be like, wannabe Scorpion and just, come in from all angles, that kind of stuff. It's actually mildly easy to shut down. So right now, Liu Kang is set to do any one of his 4 teleport options here. So a fist far, fist cross up, the overhead, and the low, right? I have no idea what's going to come next, and yet I can beat all of them on reaction. Because all you have to do, and it's literally this simple, is you see the flash, you just neutral jump. Now, if you are not prepared for it, or if you're a little bit slow on the uptake, you can get smacked right there. That's a good example. But neutral jump beats them all, even the high. As you see right there, I can escape the high. So all you have to do is just wait for that flash, the teleport, and then just jump. Even the overhead can't beat it. You share space with them, which is very odd, to say the least, but all you have to do is wait for that fire, hold up, and then, hey, land on their head and get a combo, and it's literally that easy. Now, you can sometimes get weird interactions like that. That's a good thing that showed up because I was about to go into it. The low specifically, more than most, it seems to have an odd interaction if you try to land and jump in punch on their head. But in that situation, just do a jump kick and you can still get them, and it's going to be very easy. But other than that, it's literally that simple, but you can't be too slow, as you can see here. You just, when you see them flash, hold up, and that's all there is to it. So the next thing to talk about here, let's talk about forward 3333, which is this guy here. I'm sure you've seen this one before. There you go. And first and foremost, it's punishable on block, right? So just the act of doing it itself is going to get you smacked in the noggin. So a lot of people want to add more tricky layers to it. So instead of letting it rock the whole way and, getting punished, right? A lot of people like to do this into a Shaolin cancel into a low hit. Now, the Shaolin cancel and the low hit does have the same issue it had before in that It is punishable, but it's on the edge of punishable. Like, I can get it with a stand 7-frame jab, right? But not everyone has a stand 7-frame jab, right? Some people got to settle for just a down 1 or something. Or if you're like collector, you can't punish it at all, right? So not everyone gets the same options, but if you do just wait that option out, then you can still punish it with the majority of the cast, even if it is a bit tight. As for the other options, they're not very good. And we do that in the cancel. That is just so death on block. It's going to be, at fast, it's still going to be -20. And -20 means, yo, you're going to get smacked in the noggin, so that's not really an issue. If you see someone going for it, you can easily get a punish on that, no matter what character you are playing. But yeah, so that is that in the nutshell. A lot of people want to still use the move. It's a good move because it can lead to a lot of meterless combo damage if it does connect, right? But it does have the flaw in that it's unsafe by itself, and the thing you can do to get you out of it being unsafe is still tricky at best. Now, to kind of close out the video, does Liu Kang have any weaknesses as a character? And every character has weaknesses. Now, is Liu Kang's strengths more profound than most characters? Yeah, absolutely, right? He's got damage, he's got presence everywhere on the screen, you know, he's oozing plus frames, that kind of fun stuff. His stagger game is off the chart with stuff like back 1 or back 1 2-4. That's some of the best stagger pressure in the game. Easily, especially because it's a 9-frame mid. And also, of course, 4-4 is also a 9-frame mid, right? But does he have anything I could quantify as a weakness? And he does have one thing I can quantify as a weakness. Now, depending on what character you are, you're not going to be able to take as much advantage of this. But Liu Kang, in my opinion, the one thing where he suffers a bit is in this kind of neutral mid range. From far away, obviously, he's got the fireballs, and if you do something stupid from really far away, he can drag and kick you and all that kind of fun stuff. And up close, obviously, dude's just a blender, right? But when it comes to this specific range here, he doesn't have too much. A lot of characters that have longer than average normals and strings can really put the boots to Liu Kang at roughly this range, because he really struggles to contest with this range. The only move he has that has any kind of real range is his back 4, his sweep. And he does have one of the more longer-reaching sweeps in the game, okay? Just don't get that wrong, right? But it still is 18 frames, which is awful slow for any sweep in this game, right? So other than that, he doesn't have much that can contest out of range, but he does have it, so don't forget it. So if you are a character that has a decent range, you know, kind of footsie button, like, say, Scorpion here with back 1, Scorpion can kind of edge out Liu Kang with back 1 at a range that Liu Kang can't reliably hit a button and contest from. And obviously, characters that have a little bit more range than that tend to do even better, you know, like a Jade or Collector or something like that. So the characters with the longer range normals can play a game mid-screen that Liu Kang somewhat struggles with without having to take a big risk that could also get him blown up really bad, right? But yeah, other than that, Liu Kang is a very complete character, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people are playing him right now. So anyways, there's so many more things like I went over this guy once again. There's so many more layers of the forward 4 mix-up, but we have to, for the constraints of time, you know, cut it where we cut it. And there's just a lot of strong stuff like, you know, stand 1-2, since it's plus on block. The one thing about it here is you just got to wait out your turn just like anything else, right? Because this is +3 on block. So at that point, you know, is he going to go for it again, or is he going to throw you? At least both of them are high, so he can neutral duck and crushing blow uppercut him or something. Or is he going to try to do a forward 4, and then at a point if you try to neutral duck him, then you're going to get smacked. All that fun stuff. He's a very complete character and a very strong character, but in the end, I hope this video showed you some of the things you can do to fight back against Liu Kang, because you do have more options than you think. If you yourself have any more tips you would like to share with the public, please put in the comments below. But otherwise, that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go and play some Mortal Kombat.